Nova Drift, Speedrun, Annihilation, Wild Metamorphosis, Firefly, Dying Star. Mostly the same plan, so hopefully it goes better. Let's see how we go. The last run we kinda had some piloting mishaps and then got saved by a quite fortunate mod pool, so we're still kind of waiting for the mysterious luck trifecta of do we get the right mods, that's the right mods, and also the right wave spawns. This is not really the right wave spawns, these guys take a while to get online, and also me not really making any major mistakes. We'll take Deadly Wake, sure. In the same run and going fast, and I think at this point, having got a sub 11-minute run, fast means... Do we find a Candescence? No, we do find a Rampage. Okay, fine. Fast at this point, I think means... I mean, based on how much we got wrong in the 11-minute run, I reckon we could probably do 11:20 or... not 11:20, 11:30 or maybe 11:40. 105 there is about 5 seconds slower than I would like on that boss. So we got some work to do. We'll work towards... Okay, maybe we're going to get saved by quantum decoherence as well. Let's take some regen stuff. Let's take hull strength, absorption. Though were a lot of defensive techs. We didn't really get... Maybe I should have... I didn't have rerolls though, did I? Because quantum decoherence. Yeah, streamline kind of counts as an offensive tech. Because tail size, but we need a lot of Scorching Wakes now. Discord Orbs definitely helps. Like, my defensive pattern is better than it usually is at this point because of all those things we got out of the quantum decoherence. But what I really need is Scorching Wakes, and then... I guess I've got... Yeah, we've nearly... Okay, I'm going to take the Revelation instead. We're pretty likely to see the Hidden Power again. But the thing I really need is 3 Scorching Wakes when Scorching Wakes turn up. That's going to be the thing that will let us push through bosses quickly. None of those are the 3 Scorching Wakes. We're going to take Stabilization. Because it's also just tail size and damage and things like that. Or not damage, it's like having a larger tail means it's easier to put damage on things. So it doesn't increase the amount of damage, but I still like it for, yeah, there's Hidden Power, being able to put damage on things. We're going to get agility as well. Yeah. So I think at this point, I mean, the other interesting reflection is getting this down to 1 minute, or to 10 minutes 40, say, is also super close to how well I was doing with this build in the non-annihilation mode, so maybe Pulse Battery is also just the better way to do it in Annihilation as well. But I will leave that for someone else who is actually good at Battery, because you're going to have to aim at things, and I'm less good at that. Okay, let's work towards... Given I've said we've got all of the... Yeah, we do not have the Scorching Wakes we needed. That was kind of our last-ditch effort to get the Scorching Wakes we needed, to do this boss quickly. We're still getting... Is this a decent amount of damage? If we can push it down before the zooming out animation finishes. That is my threshold for do we do Station Omega fast enough. And looked like it worked. We're still sub 4 minutes. None of those are Scorching Wakes, so I guess we're going towards the thing that will eventually be Dying Star, because that's at least... Yeah, those guys have a shield. It kind of doesn't matter anymore. Sucks to be them. Hey, Dying Star. So our health bar is pretty stable, so we don't necessarily need to rush any more defensive tools. Which is good because I'd still rather do basically more Scorching Wakes. That should not have been surprising. But then also we don't have efficiency yet. These guys are... Yeah, we can... Snakes take a while to get on screen. Sometimes we get a lot of XP from them. Yeah, things like Force Armor are still going to help their like survivability and stuff like that, which is... not really what I want. I would rather get you. We're not getting 3 Scorching Wakes. That is not a thing. Strafe. Oh yeah, we're not getting 3 solar hearts. I think 1, maybe 2 solar hearts would be good. We're going to get the kinetic boost because apotheosis is also a thing. Yeah, this is the bit where single target damage, like this kind of spread out kind of stuff is fine because we can just Dying Star Discord of our way through this. And a lot of these guys can't. Hey, there we go. We got some of those, which is going to be necessary. I think I still need more. I don't think I'm happy with 3. That's not anymore. We're going to get a Masochism, which is going to help somewhat with the Dying Star survivability as well, but it's also damage. I think that's one of the things I like about the Firefly build, is that the survivability and the mobility and the damage are all mostly the same set of mods. I mean, there's stuff like Force Armor, which is just survivability. We're going to take the Apotheosis, and then we can just do... Oh, I don't know if I've had Apotheosis at this stage with Dweller, but this probably means we can do some pretty awful things to Dweller. If we can just, like, line it up about here and do the Rampage thing. Yeah, so that's Dweller having a really bad time. Does this mean we can also... Let's get some efficiency, because... that means maybe we can get a Solar Heart at some later point. And getting Dweller down at like 6 minutes is actually pretty fast, so maybe this goes quite well. I don't really want... I guess we get Rebuke, because it is a kind of helpful defensive tool. Okay, those guys we didn't get quite as much cover on as I wanted. This guy is always a coin flip as to whether or not I'm putting fire in the place that they're going to be. These guys also, we should hopefully have enough damage now. Oh, we've also got the Apotheosis, so we can just sit on top of them. Other Masochism? Other Masochism. So, I think we have the Adrenal module. I don't remember seeing it in a while. Dudes that are shielded, sure. Several dudes that are shielded. Yeah, the thing that makes it a slow wave rather than a fast wave is basically when does the last guy get on screen. So that was why I was not necessarily hurrying to kill the first one when the second and third one were still sitting there with their shield on, because those were the guys that actually determined when the next wave was going to happen. Okay, I reckon Chaotic Ambition is actually a bad speedrun tech. Because the correct move is just to reset your roll, reset your run, and roll better, and then spend your levels getting things you need, except we're pretty much at full build, and this guy's going to have a really hard time, other than just more Masochisms, more... We don't want any of those. We really don't want any of those. I guess we're taking a Blink. Because would another Rampage after Apotheosis be okay? It's going to make it... actually, not before the level 80 boss. The Wave 80 boss sometimes requires precision that an additional Rampage would make worse. So maybe later. Mostly we're hoping that that Chaotic Ambition will let us see more Scorching Wakes. And yeah, this is a boss that tries to punch me, so they have quite... We're going to take a Soul Heart. We're going to take a Soul Heart in the middle of a boss fight. And yeah, that's what happens to bosses that try and charge when you have Apotheosis and a bunch of self-damage, center on self, leave fire behind kind of things. I think that's not very fast. Like, we're at 9 minutes now. It would be much nicer to be clearing that boss at 8:30, and so maybe a bunch of stuff was me clearing waves badly. Maybe it was... I mean, the boss didn't actually take that long, which suggests it's not yet single target damage being the issue. We don't want any of these. I guess Aegis is the least unhelpful. Can we get this guy going away? Maybe. I mean, we got this Chaotic Ambition, and it's not helping me find Scorching Wakes or Hypermetabolisms. And I don't need any more Masochisms at this point. That all should be mostly online. Then... Okay, I guess we're taking another Masochism because it was there. We are at wave 96 at 10 minutes though, so maybe this is... maybe we are going fast? Especially if that there is the wave of 99 all spawning. Yeah, these waves that spawn in the same place are pretty nice. And then do we get... that sounds like the boss we're actually really good at fighting. So we can kind of sit over here. I would have liked more Scorching Wakes, but I think... like, I'm not entirely sure why Glaucus takes all that damage. Yeah, I think, like, my impression is, and I bet we get Scorching Wake here. We do not. Okay, I feel better about not getting Scorching Wake here, because, you know, that would have been a thing that the confirmation bias of, hey, here's the one thing I needed, that I only got right after the run finished. Oh well. Yeah, I think my impression is that each segment of Glaucus takes the burn damage from my area of effect, and I have multiple things all doing area of effect fire damage, and so I think that's why Glaucus has such a rough time with it, because there's just, it takes many times more damage, because it's got lots of body segments that can all take damage from my AoE stuff. But yeah, now we are in the position of wanting to finish the run by taking a death, and being not easily able... oh no, wait, I got Celestial Lance, didn't I? That was the reason why we got Celestial Lance, because it allows me to just take the self-damage from Celestial Lance and conclude the run when an otherwise dying Star Firefly can... oh, just as Dreadnought turns up. Sure, cool. Yeah, just as... yeah, it can be pretty tricky to end the run otherwise, yeah. Maybe that run felt like it was the early apotheosis, which I'm not actually seeing at the moment. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah. Yeah, it felt like it was the early, comparatively early apotheosis that just let me sit on a couple of bosses, do a bunch of fire damage. Yeah, I think we got lucky enough there on all fronts. I mean, 10 minutes 20 seconds, still pretty happy with that. That is, I was hoping for 10:30 or 10:40, so 10:20 is, yeah, we are pretty good with that. Good times. Is an overrun, is fast. This is Dreadnought, we didn't see them, they're kind of annoying because their vulnerabilities are also where the bullets come out, but it's fine. Speedrun. Oh, poor Dreadnought, oh well. Yeah, I'd leave too.